So Bernie Sanders had a town hall a couple days ago, and he quite literally ended up having to talk a man out of killing himself over medical debt.
I appreciate you joining us. So this is very emotional. The emotions ran high tonight at a Sanders town hall in Nevada. Let's take a look, and then we'll talk about it.
Now they're saying that, I didn't re-sign or do something or something.
How are you going to pay off?
I can't. I'm going to kill myself.
John, stop it. You're not going to kill yourself. All right,
I can't deal with this. I have Huntington's disease. You know how hard that is? You probably don't, do you? I can't drive. I can barely take care of myself.
All right, let's start later at the end of the meeting, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Annie, please tell us more about that moment and what happened after.
Yeah, Don, so that was in Carson City, Nevada, Senator Sanders' first public event since the Democratic debate last night in Houston. And as you heard at the end of that exchange, Senator Sanders promised the veteran that he would follow up with him once the town hall was over. And as promised, as soon as the event wrapped and Senator Sanders took photos with whoever in the audience wanted, Senator Sanders, followed by his wife Jane, walked over to the veteran to continue their conversation. And this really just shows what's at stake with this healthcare debate and what Senator Sanders, who continues to hold smaller events, more intimate town halls, allowing people to share intimate stories that they may not otherwise get the opportunity to share.
This is why we call him America's dad. Because that reaction that he had there, what is a dad at their best? Okay, what's a dad supposed to be at their best? It's like, oh my God, I have this giant problem. What the fuck am I going to do? And dad comes in and we're going to work this out. We're going to do our best to fix this. Like, it's a soothing, watchful eye of a leader who tries to step in and say, it's okay. It's okay. That's what a dad is supposed to be. That's what a dad is at his best. And that reaction from him was just, that's America's dad. That's what that was. No, you're not going to kill yourself. Listen, let me talk to you after the meeting, after the town hall. And he did. Now, not only did Bernie talk this guy off the ledge, and he did, but also, highlighting this story, which is what happened. And for the record, you guys rarely hear me say this sentence, but I'm going to say credit to CNN for covering this. Credit to everybody for covering this, who did cover this. Because what happened was people were spurred to act. And so people created a GoFundMe for this guy. $100,000 in medical debt. There was some sort of issue with his insurance. He ended up owing $100,000. He's got this chronic illness. And he was screwed. And he saw no way out. And now people started a GoFundMe. And he's going to be able to pay it off. And just so everybody knows, I was going to find the link and try to include it in the video description box here. I couldn't find it. I was only able to find, the segments, the video segments. I couldn't find the articles. So if you happen to find that GoFundMe, please post it. But this is our system. Our system is broken. Our system is disgusting. And as Joe Biden is wandering around talking about record players and telling stories about, a gangster he put in line named Corn Pop, what's Bernie doing? Bernie literally is having to talk people out of killing themselves because they have $100,000 in medical debt. Bernie Sanders on his Facebook page posted something where it was like, tell us your story with medical debt. What's the worst medical bill you've ever had? Tens of thousands of replies. Insanity. And then there were also people saying to each other, and they're right, hey man, they don't have to deal with this in other developed countries. People from Australia were posting saying, I can't believe you guys have to go through this. At one time I was in the hospital for 3 weeks and it was $0.00 was my bill. Got amazing care. We can fix this thing. We can fix this system. We can move in the right direction. We can catch up to the rest of the developed world. It's crazy that we have to be in a situation where a political candidate running for president is in the position that Bernie's in. where it's like, I have to talk this guy out of killing himself, and then we have to try to find a solution. You think, this is a serious question now, do you think Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Mayor Pete, any of these candidates would have been able to do what Bernie Sanders did there? Do you think that guy would have, thought that they were the best place to go to find help? You know the answer to those questions. You know the answer. The guy went to Bernie because he knows Bernie cares, and he knows he's trying to fix the system. And he knows that he'd get a sympathetic ear. And Bernie did what he could, and is still fighting to try to change the system so that... Because how many guys like this are out there? A lot. There's a lot of them. So if any of them happen to be watching this, listen, there's hope. There is hope. We're going to fix this system. We're going to improve the country. Medical debt is not a thing that should exist. That's not too much to ask for. Just so you know, like I said, every other developed country, has a single-payer system, and medical debt is not a thing. Every other developed country. So this isn't a wild pie-in-the-sky, crazy lefty idea. It's really common sense. And we're going to fight for that system. We're going to win. But it's really amazing, and it's such a stark difference when you look at this campaign. And you know who the real deal is, and you know who's faking it. And this is, this is such a clear example of that. And what you just saw was America's dad legitimately being America's dad. And I hate to be such a fanboy at this moment, but what am I supposed to do? I mean, look at this story. This is insanity. Guy has $100,000 in medical debt, literally thinking about killing himself. Bernie has to talk him down from that, and then they have to try to find a solution. And people ended up doing a GoFundMe and helping this guy. And we need Medicare for all, and we need it now. I got a story coming up later that you guys are going to love to hear. It's a story about how Donald Trump, behind the scenes, in private discussions, is admitting stuff that proves our instinct is correct. Our instinct is what? Trump is more scared of Bernie than anybody else. Well, it turns out behind the scenes, he knows this. He says it. So we'll get to that, but this is why. This is why. The dude cares. The dude's fighting. And I hope everything works out with this guy here, because you don't want to see this. Nobody should have to worry about medical debt. Nobody should be put in that kind of a situation. It's flat out immoral, unethical, and wrong.